And welcome into Pat's Latest. I'm your host, Mike Gambardella, and congratulations on making it 7 long months without football. The NFL officially returned on Thursday night. The Eagles and Cowboys kicking it off, but the Patriots set to do battle on Sunday, and many more questions to be answered before kickoff against the Raiders. We take a look at the prime matchups for that game, a look at the rookies who are going to have an amazing impact on that game for the Patriots, as it is a new era under Mike Vrabel and company. Also, the latest around Bill Belichick going from statue one day to ban the next. What is going on there? And the latest on Will Campbell and how it could impact his availability for week one. Before we get into everything, make sure you go down, subscribe for the channel, get in the comments, and let us know what you think about the Raiders matchup, all these rookies, Belichick, Will Campbell, and more. Sound off in there. Let us know what you're thinking, and we'll address it on our next episode as well. Also, make sure you go down and give us that like if you like what you hear, and check out all of our old episodes so you know exactly what's going on with the Pats before we get into week one against those Raiders. Speaking of the Raiders coming to town, it is the Pats versus Pete Carroll all over again, but two very, very different teams. Obviously, we've talked about the Patriots and Drake May and all the different configurations and new players into this 53-man roster. Almost half actually new to 2025 after 2024, and out of back-to-back 4-win seasons. It's good to see some change, but for the Raiders coming into town on offense, it is still paramount that the Patriots key in and focus on containing Max Crosby. And the person whose job that is going to fall to most is actually newcoming right tackle Morgan Moses. Excuse me. Moses will have his hands full. Obviously, Crosby will move around the formation, could kick inside, outside, left, and right, but will pretty much be lined up against the right tackle position. And Moses is going to see a lot of him. And this is why the Patriots brought him in, is to be that stabilizing factor. So again, Will Campbell will have to worry about him coming to the other side, but expect that Crosby Moses matchup to be the one that they continue to circle. And if Moses is able to give time to Drake May and they're able to start executing this Josh McDaniels system, that is the biggest portion of it. Yes, the Patriots want to run the hell out of the ball. Give it to Stevenson, give it to Gibson, give it to Henderson, get him in space, get dump downs, like get the running backs involved. That's the key, period. But if you're able to then fend off Max Crosby as well, then you can start going intermediate routes. Can you find Hunter Henry? Can you find Pop Douglas? Can you then really start to push towards your new big shiny toy and Stephon Diggs? And all of this obviously keys back to Drake May and what he wants to do. So again, I think it's set up for the Patriots to do all of those things, but the tackles and tight ends and backs coming into chip as well will have their work cut out in trying to go up against Crosby. And on the opposite side, it is all about stopping Ashton Genty. The impressive rookie is going to see a lot of touches in his debut, so the front seven for the Patriots will very much need to be active up front at the line of scrimmage as well as playing side to side. And because we know what Terrell Williams and Mike Vrabel want to do with this scheme, and those safeties starting to play back away, that's even much more important for that front seven to come up and jam and be active and shut that down, because when it comes down to it, you want to stop the run, which is Ashton Genty, and then in the passing game, don't let anyone not named Brock Bowers, or excuse me, don't let Brock Bowers be the one to beat you. Anyone else, any other name you're going to be okay with, you're going to want to make sure that it's not Brock Bowers just ripping off long chunks, which just marches you down the field and starts ruining things and ruining drives. So again, keying on Genty, keying on Crosby, knowing Bowers is going to get his, but when you can really start to cap drives by starting to crack down on those wide receivers and intermediate routes, that is how the Patriots can potentially come away with the win here in week one. Why the week one win will actually be successful may actually hinge on the rookie performance. And Mike Vrabel just said the other day the reason why they didn't go after Micah Parsons is because they wanted to value the draft picks and continue to build out the depth of this team, this program, this culture, and how many guys are actually bought in. And it could go a long way of showing that's what the formula to winning is, because they might have 6 rookies starting on day one. And that might seem like a lot, but it really isn't when you start to run down. Obviously, Will Campbell will be at left tackle. We know that Travion Henderson is brought in to be a huge part of the backfield, kick returner, punt returner. Yes, he may not get the start in earnest, but he is going to be involved in that backfield. Jared Wilson has earned the starting left guard spot. Greg Woodson is now the starting safety. You add in a starting rookie kicker. You add in a long snapper. And that's not even mentioning the third round draft pick in Kyle Williams, who will start to get his feet wet at the wide receiver rotation. Joshua Farmer in the defensive tackle rotation. Braden Swinson obviously kicked down to the practice squad, but will have an impact, I think, later in the season as well. And that is a lot of young names and youth movement being put in with the Patriots. And this rookie wave they can start to ride out because they're going to have a big impact. They're going to set the culture along with Drake May and having guys like Will Campbell that you can count on. And that is what is going to make this Patriots team one that is going to be a force to be reckoned with. I think, especially later on in the season, there could be some growing pains as they figure it out. I think games where maybe initially you said, oh, the Raiders will absolutely be a win, there are going to be some up and downs. And don't be surprised if the Patriots are trailing and have to come back and things like that nature. But it will be worth it in the long run because it is going to be this rookie class that gets the experience because they're out there and learning. That sets up the depth and the star power that you want at the end of the day. A interesting update that comes across because yesterday we started out with Robert Kraft talking about Bill Belichick will have a statue right next to Tom Brady's, which was just debuted at the first preseason game. And now the next day we find out that Bill Belichick has apparently banned Patriot scouts from coming to Chapel Hill. It is a very, very surprising report, but one that is now being confirmed by the Boston Herald that Belichick has indeed banned those Patriot scouts from attending University of North Carolina football practices. And it is apparently added that from Doug Kyed, so a respected source, that a UNC athletic source is saying that why would we let them, quote unquote, the Patriots, in our home after how he's, Belichick, been treated since he left? And again, I think this is a lot of egos at play. There's a lot of he said, she said. I think you're literally going from Belichick being, the next coach and wanting to start his program and do things his own way. So finding a place where he could do that at UNC. You're coming a day after Robert Kraft saying, I want to put you next to Tom Brady because that's how much I value you. Now, again, where the timing of these things lived, we cannot say. Was that Kraft getting out in front, knowing that this is what was coming? Either side, unfortunately, I think there is unfortunately a lot of animosity. And I say unfortunately now a third time because it is that case, because you had 20 plus years of Brady and Belichick and winning. And yes, the past 5 years have been really difficult because you haven't won, you've lost. It's been very difficult to see draft classes not pan out, and that's even now after Belichick has left. So, yes, there is a lot of negative things at play. There's a lot of egos at play because these are Super Bowl winning people, coaches, administrators, players, etc. And now, unfortunately, you're starting to see that trickle down into other things. And now, if this is actually true and a college is signaling out or singling out a specific team that can't come to see them, it's just not great for the student athletes at the end of the day because you're capping the opportunities that they might have. So that's the report that's out there. Hopefully, this is another thing that is just getting blown way too out of proportion. And hopefully, egos can be put aside and kind of understand that, hey, yeah, you're not happy how things ended. Nobody is, because again, you go from winning Super Bowls to winning 4 games, and nobody wants to see that. And it is tough to be told one way or another that, hey, things aren't working out. But at the end of it, hopefully they can kind of put everything aside and say, look, this was said, this happened. Let's move forward. Let's understand what happened was simply amazing and unprecedented. Let's celebrate those things and let's move on. Moving on to our final topic, we take a look at Will Campbell, that first rounder, 4th overall. And unfortunately, he did indeed pop up on the injury report on Thursday as he was limited with an ankle injury. But all reports are saying that he should be okay for the season opener against the Raiders. It is worth noting because this is something new, something that has not been discussed or listed before. But Campbell will be on that report, so your starting left tackle for Drake May could be potentially injured in the season debut, which is not anything that you want. But again, that it's becoming so late, we'll have the update for Friday, and we'll have that for you here today, and we'll have that for you on tomorrow's episode. But again, want to keep an eye on it. But on the flip side of it, Campbell continues to make the rounds. He is learning, getting better every day, and now starting to line up with guys like Matt Light, who have played his position specifically. And he actually was on the Dudes on Dudes podcast with Rob Gronkowski and Julian Edelman as well, along with Matt Light. And was asked about his comments right after he was drafted about how he would die for Drake May. And his quote was saying, "I would. That's my guy." He said, "I don't know what made me say that in the moment, but it came out great. It's kind of just the emotions flowing, and I stand by it." It's good to see him stand by a very emotional response and not kind of backtracking to say, I don't know why I said that. I think Will Campbell absolutely has the ability, the tenacity, and the demeanor to become a all pro on the offensive line. We'll put it there. Whether that's actually going to be at left tackle or a different position moving forward, I think is fair to be up for debate, but he will be the left tackle moving forward in 2025. He will be at the blind side of Drake May, which makes him probably the second most important player on the New England Patriots and one to keep full eyes on as we kick off the season here on Sunday. That'll do it for us here on this episode of Pat's Latest. Again, make sure you go down, subscribe for the channel, get in the comments, and let us know what you think what's going on with the Pats heading here into week 1. We've made it. Let's go. Give us your predictions. Let us know if you think 10-7, 9-8, 1-16. Let us know. We're ready for it, and we'll answer all your questions as we have them. Go down and make sure you give us that like. Go back and check out all of our old episodes so you know what's going on with your New England Patriots as we continue to have it all for you here on Pat's Latest. Fight on, Foxborough.